it was so sudden, and we just didn't. His fans never got to say goodbye, and it's just killing a lot of people. They're just really taking it hard.
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's newsman,
And if you were just
Logan
trying to
Crawford.
investigators, they now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're talking to a wonderful author, a wonderful person. Her name is Darlene Beasecker, and she is a passionate writer and a lifelong admirer of Matthew Perry, whose unforgettable portrayal of Matthew Bing left an indelible mark on her heart. She has penned a moving tribute called Remember Matthew Perry, and in the book she shares intimate reflections, emotional memories, and the profound impact Perry had on her life and the lives of millions of us. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Darlene, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. This book is like memory lane for so many of us who kind of grew up watching Cheers and have seen it time and time again in repeats. My son has to put it on to go to sleep at night because that's like his comfort show. So I guess we never dreamed that Friends would have such an impact that it did when it first premiered in the 90s. Were you a fan right off the start?
Oh, right. From the first episode that ever aired, I was hooked.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what was it about the show that made you such a big fan?
Well, back then it was just such a good show and good writing. Um, Over the years, it's become a comfort show.
Yeah.
I've been watching it ever since it came on. I've been watching it since it went in syndication. I watch it every night before I go to sleep, and most times I have it on my TV during the day. I've watched it so many times I couldn't even tell you.
Amazing. So you're just like my son. You put it on just for comfort, and it's amazing.
Yes,
I guess you kind of feel like you're surrounded by friends when it's on, right?
right, right.
Yeah. Quite
That's
literally. Was Matthew Perry, Chandler Bing, your favorite character in the show?
yes. From
Why
the
was
very
that?
beginning. Those first words that he said, he was my favorite.
Do you remember the first words that he said? Not to put you on the spot, but I'm just wondering if you're that much
Uh,
of a fan. Okay,
you
now
put me
you're
on the
not that
spot.
much of a fan. I don't blame you. If you knew the very first words he ever uttered on screen, that'd be pretty cool. But which is your favorite episode, if you had to pick a favorite?
If I had to pick a favorite, probably the proposal
The
between
one
him and
with the
Monica.
proposal, probably it's called, or something like that, right?
Yes.
And he
Yes.
proposes to Monica?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Awesome, awesome. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I am a fan as well. I'm a Johnny come lately, though. I only kind of really started to like it over the last decade or so. Back in the 90s during its first run, I guess I was too busy. I didn't pay attention, but it really is wonderful. What was it like writing this book and making this tribute to this wonderful actor?
It was well, how it came about was the fact that I turned to social media after I lost my husband.
Hmm.
So just getting over grieving him, and Matthew died. And I turned to social media to try to find an outlet for my grief. I started joining groups and making entries, and I started a diary to Matthew. My sister was the one that suggested that I put all of these diary entries into a book, which is exactly what it is. It's diary entries for the first year, just talking to him. I found that it helped me move on to the next stage of grief, and I could not believe how many people it's helped.
Wonderful, wonderful. Have you gotten some feedback from other Matthew Perry fans?
Oh, yes. I have the Facebook group that I have. It has almost 17,000 people in it.
Wow.
I have a huge following on there. They look forward to my daily entry. I write an entry every morning. They look forward to that, and they're grieving, some of them more than me.
Yeah.
I've moved on to the next stage, but some of them are grieving really hard.
It's a lot. When you love a character, you invite that character into your home each night, you feel like you know them. In many ways, you do. Because I can tell you, as an actor myself, people generally play themselves. What you
Right?
see is what you get. You can't really hide your insides that much. If you're a good guy playing a good guy, you probably are a good guy. Same's true with the guys who play the bad guys. They're a little creepy when you work with them.
That's
Pretty
true.
funny, yeah. But he obviously was a good guy, obviously troubled all along. We actually even saw his weight and appearance change and fluctuate over the years. Was that troubling to you during the show's run and during watching and repeats? You'd see him very skinny, then bloated and all that, right?
Season three is really, really hard to watch, especially now that we know what he went through.
Yeah,
I knew he struggled with his disease, but I didn't know what level until I read his book.
yeah,
And after that, it's really hard to watch the season that he's been in, and especially knowing what happened and how it happened. It's
yeah.
really hard.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And, it's funny. When I was a little boy, I learned about the death of Superman. George Reeves. And that left a lasting impact on me. It's just like my hero killed himself, Superman. It's kind of the same thing in a way, but a different level. I mean, you lost him as an adult, but it's amazing that you can grieve. And there's so many Facebook groups on Superman talking about George Reeves and his legacy. So it's very, very interesting. So this is your memories, these are your diary entries, and are there photos? Talk to us a little bit about the structure of the book.
It's basically a diary.
Mhm.
There's no photos, but there is daily entries that the book starts 2 days before his passing. And then it moves on through the first year anniversary of his passing. So it skips over dates. It's not every day. It skips over dates, and I put just the the most memorable parts of what I went through.
Absolutely. Did it feel like losing a friend?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it really did.
yeah. Particularly
I've
coupled
been a
with,
fan of his for years. I have I watch everything he's ever done.
mm,
I like all the other series that he done besides Friends. I'm a big Studio 60 fan.
mhm.
And I just, I've been a fan for years.
Yeah, yeah. I can see why he was a very likable character. I think in many ways he was the most real character on that show, right?
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And even after his sister confessed the fact that Chandler was Matthew.
right.
And it just
Yeah,
it just confirmed it. We know it's him.
yeah. Yeah,
Watching his
yeah. The watching, go ahead.
watching his interviews and things like that, where the real personality comes out, you can see it. You
Sure.
can
I
see
mean, you
it.
basically blend your personality to any role. I've had the pleasure of working fairly extensively with Tom Selleck,
Hmm.
and he's Magnum PI. He's Commissioner Reagan. He's exactly that guy that you see on TV. He's this larger than life cowboy. And I'm sure the same thing was true with Matthew Perry. He had a snarky kind of sense of humor and a warm side and a little nervous too, his mannerisms, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I feel like Ross is a little bit of a caricature, like the dopey friend. Joey is a little bit of the dopey friend, but but uh, but Chandler, there was something real about him, and even with his backstory with his mother and all of that stuff, and it was such a well-written show, such a funny show. What are some of your other favorite episodes of that show?
Um, let's see. Oh gosh.
One with a turkey on the head, I feel is so memorable
Oh yeah.
from
Yes,
Thanksgiving.
because that was a throwback episode. So, when that was right after actually I just watched that episode this morning.
Oh, really? Really? It's funny.
Yes.
It's funny. So that's like they do flashbacks on that of other
Yes.
Thanksgivings
Yes.
and stuff. Joey with his stretchy pants and
Oh
all of
yeah.
that stuff.
That's a
Yeah.
different season, yes.
Yes. Have you ever gone to the Friends Experience? Have you seen those
No,
pop-ups?
I have not, but I have a trip planned to LA in
Hmm.
September. I'm looking forward to going to Warner Brothers Studio to their tour. I'm looking forward to seeing and being in the places that he walked in.
Yeah.
I my other plan, I mean, I'm going to see everything while I'm there, of course,
Yeah.
but the other big thing is I am going to visit his gravesite,
Hmm.
which
Wonderful.
will be
Wonderful.
surreal.
Yeah, well, it's wonderful. I mean, that his legacy lives in great people like you, uh, with whom he had an impact. If you could say anything to Matthew Perry today, what would you say?
Wow. You know what? It would be one word, or not one word. I would just tell him he was enough. He did
Mm,
not understand how much we really loved him. I
yeah,
really don't think he knew.
yeah. I think he needed to, one, find a little peace within himself, realize the impact he had on others, and drugs are a terrible thing. I mean, people do get hooked on them. They do feel calmed and comforted by them momentarily. And then there's that rebound effect. And then, of course, there's always the risk of overdose as well. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. The
it's a
relapses. Yeah. It's just, I mean, we all knew he came through the other end. It's just, that's what's such a shock on his passing.
yeah,
The
yeah.
number one, the way it happened, and number two, it was it was so sudden, and we just didn't. His fans never got to say goodbye, and it's just killing a lot of people. They're just really taking it hard.
And he was
I'm just
relatively a young man.
so thrown away about
Yeah.
how much and how many. They're from all over the world. It's
Mhm.
not just in the United States. All over the world, he has a following,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they're
Absolutely.
really suffering.
I know, I know. And it's funny. Somebody has a huge run, like he had a 10-year run on Friends. And then there's a lull where, you're kind of typecast as Chandler Bing. But I think he was getting at that point where a comeback was coming, where that next role or that next series was coming. And he never lived to see that. And that's unfortunate. But he made a mark on the hearts of lots of people like yourself. And this book is a must-have for any fan of Friends, any fan of Matthew Perry. It's a beautiful tribute. The name of the book is Remembering Matthew Perry, and in it, Darlene shares her intimate reflections, emotional stories, and the profound impact that Perry had on her life and the life of millions of us. Through heartfelt storytelling, Darlene offers a deeply personal look at the man behind the laughter, creating a space for fans to grieve, remember, and celebrate his legacy together. Darlene, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate your time, your insight, your wisdom, and your great heart. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time until next time on the Spotlight Network.